Fatal mistake lives in their game when they thought all are the same. If you look little through a prism, you'd see a new age of colonialism. Powerful foreigners in control beneath your skin come to crawl. Make residents of your president to represent that they implement. Countries or person it flounders, enriching itself by robbing others. For their investment to pay off, yet obligated never had enough. Crumbs they leave ants invites in, every bit whose it is to keep clean. All plug as armies marching in, chews until all caves a worm thin. Function by time they not span, it was all quite the same to them. Bone they chew, all of it despite. Not so bright are given every right. All over new making borders that quickly else smolders, yet perhaps just impossible is to avoid that they can't dismiss. Required was not all of this strife to keep their good way of life, displaying legitimacy to others by its banners, repeating blunders. Outside eye all runs to itself redeem, outside eye all streams to extreme. Other is new, living by moments, as free of regret, mad befriends. All unfinished want to walk in, on imagination wearing thin. Greatness that was they propose, yet great it indeed never was. No other story could intrude, yet only that stood. Yet only that stood is no good. And attack that not fight back, their victories as so here stack. Allowed to do what they want, world is pond, they can daunt. Not meant by all, but not mend, but all down bend, by lecture harsh reprimand. Idiotism taunt, as on it did rant, if reluctant to it again confront, or they'll write in their little win that all in your world needs to spin. Showing off hidden in the march, all snatch they want too much. Marginalized reasons reflected, the program acted, so expected. Problem they not wish solve, indeed in same we still revolve. That kills millions still prance, feeling safe in their incompetence. When story not goes their way, anger comes ringing with decay. To conquer and over all now rule, required is a fool for their duel. That in aversion not entwined will feel wrath of the unkind. Spite awakened by those proud, in these days all was allowed. That brings suffering, torture, becomes scarier of their culture, contagious becomes meaningless, and masses are there that to it confess. Minimal before us placed is law, to keep us from falling below, postponed by time in between, by past foreseen, all we've been. Once to show we do not matter, only to show we do not matter, picture safe for someday later. Present in that tomorrow comes, or in decayed path follows crumbs. People are so small, to be fair, moving yet not going anywhere. For judgment yours, yours with capital Y, all do long, seemingly knowing no wrong. As days of fraction are in action, when we lived in a distraction, in every moment here all goes, what to us happens, none knows. Without consequence they do, with what one sees another will too, without thought or any leisure, only measure is their pleasure. Their ambition calling sacrifice, impression not made to suffice, too of that not too of that not assess, gain access, less only if else we must confess. As storm to raise with their effort that will take years to again sort, as nature of business all forsakes, as itself great makes from else takes. Of small future forsakes, despite efforts, this could nature hungry all dissects. This nature hungry all dissects. Criminal aim by claim chase. Time is now to all put in place. Drawing in those so dependent will come blazing this defendant to take action in its interest show, indeed having the means to do so. A foreigner is Bagration, did protect, patience pride preserves, in eye compact, to Russia with love that only can, their big role they had to play again, settled by the voice so gentle, yet such world seeks dismantle, striving for else, tested is restrain, while motivated take the terrain. Here where all fires at us stand, not glad, but stiff and full of lead, huge effort required was indeed to accomplish such a little deed, mild in peace, by grief entwined, trial vast before they again unwind. In this scheme wide, none else mind. Too many died to freedom provide. World ought to apologize to you, not by who, but by what you do. Tolerating farce for sake of peace. They are true heroes of time, this. Obnoxious and rude it withstood. I don't know if such I ever could. Right here, deceitful of truth tells, as else dig holes under themselves. Dog psychology days do inflict, project strength to avoid conflict. By acts wrong beast comes to hurt. I hope today you never revert. I indeed loved your people. It ought to be really this simple. Joyfully such honesty I share. By the dawn at Freedom Square. Sky and the street all here bigger is. Kremlin by churches encircled is. Pulling up deeper than the abyss. That all around is, it tightly grips. As Russia knew that led many, dealing with hasty choices plenty, managing to find to nation revive, certainly required for all to survive. As contribution to poor is made by all the Islamistans green laid, unlike that land took of so many, dropping responsible there for any. Despite that splendor wish dismiss, world another indeed you please, without conflict religious, красиво, for all done, thousand times спасибо. People by this marvel so delicate, so humbly light and so heavy set, this mix made tongue so sweet, complete to mine belongs creed. Здравствуйте, I endlessly repeat. With all of you, it is so great to meet. From Baltic high sky, standard rose, bridges, Pushkin's poetry echoes. Solitude to this endless beauty, salute to this endless beauty, salute to that becomes of thee. You above them all well know, it's better if all knew. You about them all well knew, it's better if all knew about you. World city on cool naval flows, frozen in the twilight are these laws. In it Isaac church so heavy seems, atop water to obey its slow streams. Monumental effort to all us bring, overwhelming none can swing. As I revised, all is compromised, respected not that much sacrificed. Preservation, repetition required to keep that people still admire. Here history learn, not to forsake, although time is to history make. To future kings, specifics I entail, on rules built to withstand hell. God watched over only those that watched over all, I suppose. As one side all needs to deny and never try to share the pie, we may here become extinct. Too far we got this to depict. To bring East and West together, must we one leave, other to enter? East was just west of the West, nothing here is made to be best. While all they wish is to resemble those that us rather disassemble, to exist in echoing violence and list of segregation consists only a beast. For another song here I do long, while I a witness to all so wrong. In a trench, good news I await, their fight I not commemorate. Awaiting apocalypse it ill feels, to some death only hope reveals. Always around the corner it seems, yet one at a time we come to this. All done or stated, one day faded. None vouch for who has made it. That it's not okay, I wish inscribe. Now be gone or yourself describe.